one of the biggest double standards that we have to deal with here as Moroccan girls is the fact that we get blamed for swimming in bikinis when men swim in shorts. And in Islam, men aren't actually supposed to wear shorts. They're supposed to hide this entire parts of their body from their belly button down to their knees. And I do not know, like, not one single boy who does that except my father. And he is very religious, but at the same time respects me and respects my choice of wearing a bikini and doesn't blame me for it. When other boys who don't do that, who wear normal shorts, not hiding their belly button and not hiding their knees, blame other girls for wearing bikinis in the name of Islam, which you're doing something wrong too. So why blame the girls, the women, for doing the exact same thing you're doing? I think this is one of the biggest examples of Moroccan schizophrenia.
When foreigners come to Morocco, they are most surprised by the fact that when you're a couple, you cannot kiss each other in public.
A few years ago, when I started my new job, I asked my dad if I could get my own apartment. He said yes, but then when I got my job, he changed his mind. I moved out anyway, but after a week, he threatened me so much that I moved back in, and I have been here ever since. It's so far from my work in Rabat to where we live in Salé. I spend over 2 hours every day in taxis and on buses. About 3 months ago, he found out that I was lying to him. I was with a boy when I said I was at work. And my father found out because he went to my work to check on me and I wasn't there. So now I'm not allowed to go out at all, except to go to work. My older sister doesn't get this treatment. She can do whatever she wants. I'm a prisoner in my own house. It should be against the law.
Of course,
Because domestic violence is not taken seriously by the authorities. Like if the girl is beaten or kept captive by her family, and if she's trying to get out, so she calls the authorities to help her. In this kind of situation, the authorities do not interfere. Even if the law is on her side, there will be no police intervention because it is considered a family matter. So in most cases, the police will not interfere because this is considered the father's responsibility.
The Moroccan culture had a scientific and religious perspective. Now the culture has modernized in different ways. But the religion never changed. It stayed the same, with the same beliefs in the one and the only God and His Prophet.
قاولي بزاف ديال المشاكل على لايف ستايل.
I faced so many problems because of my lifestyle. First with my parents, to a point where we stopped communicating once, not long ago. And with people too. Most of them don't respect you for what you are wearing and they start catcalling. People are always sending hate messages to me on social media, saying things like you are being a dishonor to your family and yourself. Sometimes I'm thinking to myself that I should be wearing appropriate things to please everyone, which means I am being controlled by society. But no one can actually control me. The best idea I have is to go somewhere far away.
Nowadays, many people do content creation and call themselves influencers. and I find it to be a very dangerous thing.
In relationships outside of marriage, especially in a small town or a neighborhood where everyone knows each other, if the couple were found to be together, they will be sentenced to between 1 to 6 months of jail for having sex. After that, the man may go ahead and start a new life. While the woman gets a double sentence because her social life ends. Even her family could shun her, and she would be called a whore, a prostitute. Because she will be looked at like a whore, and she will be judged and shamed everywhere she goes.
If you're getting harassed in the streets, and that happened to me a lot of times, even with policemen around, they don't really give a shit, honestly. The police or security or our society in general will watch you get harassed in the streets and will not do anything about it. But the minute you're with a guy that you're being like consensually with, like holding hands or just hugging, they'll judge you and they'll tell you that you're not supposed to do that in here, like you're doing something illegal. When women are being harassed, it's not really a problem, but the minute they're giving consent to something, then no, don't do that. So yeah, that's a huge double standard. People should learn about their roots and origins to find the purpose of their lives. And for me, the most important thing in this life is to maintain our religion. I advise the girls who are not that religious to try and look more into it. Even if they are not young anymore, it is never too late. So at that time, and especially because I was in my teenage years, I started questioning the way I am, the way I dress. And at some point, I started to feel like I was being influenced. But with the grace of God, I was never diverted from my way and kept my hijab.
الفتيات بحالك إلى آخره يبعدوا نهائيا من مسائل التدخين، من مسائل ديال المخدرات، ومسائل ديال المسكرات، صافي، ويمشيو بخير وعلى خير، ويتبعوا الدين ديالهم ويتبعوا الدراسة ديالهم ويتبعوا المسائل ديالهم.
We don't really know if we're headed towards a more religious country or a more modern country. We're like kind of in between.